Okay, wanted to make sure to get everybody in as I could. As you guys know, if you jump in early enough on the blog, you try to, or you have a chance to get your name queued up there on the screen for the comments there. So I'll try to get everyone in before I start yakking. You can still keep commenting. I'm going to see them, and I'll try to answer some of your questions. As always, I'm sure you figured out by now I can't answer everyone all the time because there is a bit of a delay. It's always when I sign off of here, and I'll look over the screen, and then I see all the questions that your guys are asking about that I missed. So I apologize on that. But as always, thank you again for the comments and the happy Thanksgiving wishes as well. I will be here for Thanksgiving tomorrow morning. I'm not sure if there will be a blog, but I will be here tomorrow morning for the early show for sunrise for your Thanksgiving. And I'll be here on Black Friday as well all morning long. And the blog will likely come out on Black Friday, but it'll likely be a little later. We'll see. But it will be out for Black Friday. So you will get one later this week if we don't have one there on Thanksgiving itself. So yes, I hope everyone does have a good Thanksgiving and it's nice and full. All those leftovers, all that good stuff. I'm Wave Meteorologist Brian Good. Welcome to SnowTALK. Forgot my entire intro. This is the blog where we have a chance to discuss the long-term patterns beyond what we can do on a TV newscast because we don't have enough time. Our average TV newscast, I would say most of my shows have been averaging about 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Sometimes you can get a 4-minute weather. But a lot of times in the afternoon, and certainly for the later shows into the evening, most of the weathercast timing is about 2.5 minutes. So that's a very short amount of time. It may seem like a lot, but when it comes to try to explain a weather pattern, you really got to narrow it down to just the very simple things, and then it's the 10-day, and then you're done. Well, that's the reason why these blogs were created. I created this blog actually back in 2002. Back at previous stations is when I started doing this. And it was mainly, again, designed to have a conversation and discussion about long-term patterns. I love long-term forecasting. The challenges and frustration that comes with it and the emotions. But it's fun. And it really is fun to see how things play out. Even if they do sometimes tease us and go away, sometimes they do work out. So we get a good signal and of a change coming, and it's nice to watch it, how it evolves as it gets closer. It's pretty wild. So that's the reason why, again, I'm even here. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. Same to you, Margaret. I see your comments. All right, guys. So let's start with the lovely snowboard to see if there's anything on it. No, couldn't put anything on it today. Still, I'm watching the late month, early December setup. I'll show you in a second. The pieces are there, but they're not quite lined up for anything that's getting my attention right now. If I see that change, I'll let you know. But I do think some colder weather certainly is coming. But as far as active weather with that, right now, not seeing it match up. All right, here's a live look into E-Town. A little bit of fog there, low clouds. We've been dealing with this for the past, I don't know, 20, 30 hours, something like that. The good news is we are starting to see a few breaks in these clouds, especially as you look off to the north. So temperatures right now in the 40s. It is chilly outside. But when you look at the satellite, you see the drizzle across central Kentucky, still fighting, by the way. But you get into Indiana, there are a few breaks trying to form on northern counties. For those of you in Seymour, you likely are getting a bit of sun. If anyone's watching from Seymour or even into northern Washington County or in Jennings, probably Jennings, Lawrence County, Indiana, let me know if you are seeing the sun break. It's probably not perfectly clear. You probably have different layers, but you probably could see at least some blue mixed into that. Now, how much of that is going to try to erode this way? It's a good question. It's going to be slow for that to have happen today, but that is the game plan. But here's the issue. We're likely going to see some erosion today on the northern side of this. They will build right into Kentucky. This batch of clouds, however, is actually holding together and will drift southeast. So any kind of clearing we have will get replaced by the next little batch out of Illinois. That is the one that is key for Thanksgiving. Right now, we're thinking that will completely erode away to allow for a sunny Thanksgiving. If it is slower than expected on the erosion part of that second piece, then we would end up with clouds for Thanksgiving morning, but a sunnier afternoon, if that makes sense. So that's it. And that's nothing major as far as weather drama or anything. I mean, it's pretty straightforward forecast. Doesn't really impact a lot of you. Just a matter of whether you're going to have some sunshine at the window or not. You'll get some, certainly by the Thanksgiving holiday, but you could even get a tease or two today. It's just one of those setups where moisture in the Ohio Valley, especially the backside of these systems, it just takes a long time to drag and move out of here. But the trend is there for it to improve. So let me show you Futurecast, which basically tells the same thing. If we do clear out, the only issue we've got with that is if we end up seeing some clearing in this first round, a little more dramatic than expected, that's where you're going to run into fog. And the problem is with that is the freezing line is going to be dropping to where there could be some freezing fog, mainly for eastern Kentucky. You saw the freezing line pop in there for a second. I think eastern Kentucky could see a bit of that, but I think here locally, we're fine. I don't see it. Even if they were to see it, by the way, in East Kentucky, it would not be a travel issue because the ground's too warm. It would be just an elevated roadway or a tree kind of thing if that even were to even happen at all. But right now, it looks to be very, very minor. Let me stress that. So let's move on. Thanksgiving, as we head into the morning hours, it's going to be cold. Clouds hopefully will roll away to allow for a sunny setup and temperatures in the 50s, still on track for everyone to enjoy eating some turkey and dressing. Dressing, macaroni and cheese. Do you cook it on the stove in the pot or do you bake it? Boy, that's a debate these days. Macaroni has really become a huge item for Thanksgiving now. You notice that? I mean, it used to be the dressing, the stuffing, or something like that, and or how you would cook the turkey, deep fry it or not. Now it's all about the baked macaroni in the oven, or you put the crumbs on it, or you just do the traditional into the pot. Either way, it's good. I'm not going to argue. So I hope mom's making macaroni. She should. Okay, so once we get into Friday for you shoppers, high clouds will begin to stream into the area. That will begin to fade out. That will be a player times for you shoppers, but it'll keep it cool. Good shopping weather. Mostly cloudy times, a little bit of sun, hazy sun. Temperatures generally in the 40s when you're out and about shopping, 30s in the nighttime hours. Not bad. It'll keep it in the festive mood because you still have to wear your winter coats as you're walking around shopping. I think that's really cool. That's when you know you're really in the season. So the weekend, Saturday looks good still. I don't see any problems with the Governor's Cup. Okay, I think clouds may increase at times, but no rain or snow or anything like that. Looks good for the game on Saturday. Sunday, the wave begins to approach just like yesterday. It stares us down with some snow and rain into the plains, and then it gets here, falls apart. Drizzle. At best, Sunday to Monday, not worried about it. But here's the thing. As it goes by, it will allow for a little bit of a dumbbell effect, if you will, where the lows will actually retrograde around each other, and that will help push down colder weather after it goes by. That would be roughly Tuesday night of next week into maybe Wednesday, and that would allow for this colder drop. This could even lead to highs in the 30s. It's possible. Right now we're going to go with 40s, but it's a cold shot of air, but it looks cold and dry. So I don't see any systems lining up with it. And that was the debate with the idea of anything being added to the snowboard would be, will we see the pieces line up? Right now, I don't. I see little vorts rotating around, which would be like clipper type systems. They are rotating around that colder band, but there is moisture moving in the subtropical jet, but it's way down here. There is a huge disconnect between the two. So because they're not lining up, we're not seeing anything that's going to be able to connect to form a storm. Even if we were to get the clippers into our area, that would get nice. Some flurries or snow showers flying in. But right now, that looks to stay because the angle of attack and how it begins to obviously leave us as well, that should stay to our north. So a cold, dry batch of air possible for mid next week. Nothing extreme at all. So what does that mean down the road? Well, first off, looking at the, let me show you this close up. This is the ensembles from the Euro. Looking at the early December timeframe, notice there are a lot of, ensembles that agree that some snow is possible. A couple of blues showing up. Yay, that's good. That's good. But the ensemble mean, which I don't know if you can read that at the very bottom, is less than a half an inch. So confidence is not very high all the way through the 5th or 6th of December that we're going to get anything measurable in snowfall. It's the hints are there only just because really the cold shot of air and maybe some flurries or something like that. That's what the model's trying to read. So I don't see anything significant at all. This does not raise my eyebrows one bit, but at least want to show you guys so you know what we're looking at. All right, we get into the polar vortex. Okay, well, the cold air, that drop happens. You can see that blue boom right there, right across the Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley, and then retreats right back up toward Greenland. And that, I think, is what's going to allow for what we love to call the blowtorch type of scenario. We're going to get a warm surge of air, maybe some rain and thunder. I think that's going to be the roll toward mid-December. Then we'll see what happens because the wind flow at the North Pole area, the higher latitudes, the trend is now, yesterday it was a little more flat or a hint of going back up again. The wind wants to, most recent model runs, trying to relax. They're trying to get the wind fields down. You see how they're high here. In fact, they're near record levels in this area, but they are trying to go downward as we head into about the second week of December. Remember, when we see this happen, this is stage 1. Our impact as far as getting cold weather or snow anywhere close to us, we're like stage 4 of that. So it takes a while to get impacts in our area. So this is only the very beginning of what could be a flip in December, but it's showing up. It's showing up there. And when I looked at the European long range, it does show the blowtorch warm air for mid-December. And then we get toward Christmas week and New Year's, it's gone, indicating a colder setup that wants to show up as we head down the road. Even the upper air jet stream pattern, when we look at that, is showing a classic deep trough in the eastern part of the United States. Kentucky is about right here. A strong ridge all the way to the western Canada and to Alaska. Good signal. I mean, a classic setup to be able to allow cold air to dive in the eastern United States. Again, this is around December 25th is when this is showing up. Could be interesting. Could be. Let's see. Let's see if it holds. That's the key thing. You guys know that. It could go away. It could go in the data. But we've been talking about this now for like 3 weeks. That they flip at the end of December is showing up and could be a game changer for the December outlook. The most recent data, again, that just came in is still wanting to hold on to that idea. But before we get to this, we will have to face some warmer weather that will come our way from mid-December. Maybe some 60s. I wouldn't rule even a 70-degree day. So that is still in the cards there. But there could be a payoff at the end, depending on how this all plays out. All right, stay tuned. I'll keep an eye, guys. Don't worry. It's still early. It's still early in the season. 29 days now to the first day of winter. Amanda, thanks. Talking about the baked macaroni and cheese, I agree. It is very, very good. Olivia, I'll take some festive flakes. Me too. Some festive flakes for everyone shopping and decorating. I'll go with that. Hello, Jason. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Lauren, cheese and pasta go together. Cheese and pasta together is always a win. And then Tabitha, I'll eat anything but green bean casserole. Tap that. I agree with you completely.